Hello, we're here for lesson 114. So we'll go ahead and get started. If I'm going too fast, just pause the video and work through the problem. I'm here to just help you set it up. I still want you to do a lot of the work. When it comes to reducing fractions, I will help you out a little bit more. All right, here we go. Number one, it gives us a square, and it has a side labeled 6 centimeters, and it wants to know the perimeter. Number two wants to know the area of the same square. All right, so to find the perimeter, we would know that if it's a square, all the sides are the same length. So we can assume that each one of these is 6 centimeters. So we can go 6 times plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, or we can go 6 times 4 equals how many centimeters? So that will be your answer. 6 times 4 is how many centimeters? Now to find the area equals length times width. So our length is 6 centimeters and our width is 6 centimeters. So our area would be 6 times 6 equals how many centimeters? So those are our two equations to figure out. Number one, the perimeter, and number two, the area. Now it has two options, so you'll just need to fill in a bubble. All right, moving to number 3, it has multiple fractions that we need to reduce. So you can pause the video to work through those two equations while I set up for number 3. Our first fraction that it wants us to reduce is 2/12. All right, so I look at this and I think, okay, what numbers go into both 2 and 12? Well, I know that 2 is a prime number. That means it only has 2 factors. 2 things we can multiply to make 2, and that is 1 and itself. So 1 and 2. So only 2 can go into, 1 and 2 can go into it. Well, I also know that 2 can go into 12. So how many times does 2 go into 2? Well, 1 set of 2 is 2, so that's 1. How many times does 2 go into 12? So 12 divided by 2, and that is 6. So the first fraction reduces down to 1/6. Our second fraction is 6/8. All right, so I look up here at the top number 6, and I think, what are the factors into it? It's not a prime number because you have 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking 3 goes into 6, but 3 does not go into 8. 2 goes into 6 and 2 goes into 8. So we're going to use 2 as our number to reduce by. So what's 6 divided by 2? I know that 2, 4, 6, 3. 8. What's 8 divided by 2? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so I know that's 4. So 6/8 is equivalent to 3/4. So you can go ahead and mark the 3/4 button or 3/4 button. Our next fraction is 3/9. So I look at 3/9 and I think, what factors go into both 3 and 9? Now again, 3 is a prime number. There's only 2 factors, 1 and itself, so 3. Does 3 go into 9? It does. So we can divide that out. So what is 3 divided by 3? 1. What's 9 divided by 3? 1/3. So 3/9 is equivalent to 1/3. So you can mark that bubble for that one. And our next one is 2/4. So let's look at these factors. Okay, again, 2 is a prime number. So it has only 2 factors, 1 and itself, which is 2. So does 2 go into 4 as well? It does. So we can mark that down. All right, so 2 divided by 2. So 2 into 2, it just is once. And 4 divided by 2. 2, 4. So that's 2. So 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. So you can mark that bubble. All right, we'll move down to number 4. There are 40 quarters in a roll of quarters. So I'm going to write that down. 40 quarters. I'm going to just put QT. In a roll of quarters. What is the value of 2 rolls of quarters? So we have times 2 to find out how many quarters we have total. So 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 4 is 8. So now we have 80 quarters. How much is a quarter worth? You know that a quarter is worth 25 cents. So we're going to go 80 quarters times 25 cents to figure out how much these 80 quarters are worth. So 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. All right, now we're going to multiply by 20. So we automatically put our 0 there. Now 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. So you'll need to add this up, add these two numbers together, and put it in either cents or dollars. I would say put it in dollars. So you'll need to put a decimal right here when you bring these down. So you have 5 sets of 80 cents is $4. And I'll put it right there. And 20 sets of 80 cents is $16. So if you'll add $4 plus $16, it'll tell you the value right there. All right, now number 5 is also, we're going to be adding a bunch of fractions. So it has 4 different parts to it. And this is the last problem. So once we finish this, we'll be done for the day. All right, number 5, we have, our first one is 3/5 plus 4/5 equals. Now, in adding and subtracting fractions, we keep the denominator the same. It needs to be the same to do it, and then we keep it. So we'll just bring our 5 over, and then we just go 3 plus 4. Now the tricky part, so 3 plus 4 is 7, is now we need to reduce this fraction into a mixed number because 7 is larger than 5. So 5/5 is 1. So we know that this equals 1 and how many fifths? All right, what's 7 minus 5? Because we made that 1. 7 minus 5 is 2. So our answer to the first one is 1 and 2/5. All right, our second one, I'm going to help you set it up. 16 plus 3 3/4. All right, so we have a whole number plus a mixed number. So we're just going to add the whole numbers and keep the fraction there. So 16 plus 3 is 19, and then bring over your fraction right over is how we do that. My writing's not very good on the whiteboard upside down, so just bear with me. So if you want to find the bubble with 19 3/4 for the second one. All right, the third one is 2/5 plus 3/5. All right, I'm going to set you up and I'm going to let you finish this. Let's keep our denominator the same and pull it over. Now you just go 2 plus 3. Okay, but now we have 2 plus 3 is 5. If I have a cookie with 5 portions, and I eat all 5 portions, how many did I eat? We ate the whole cookie. So that one is 1. All right, our last one is 6 2/3 plus 3 2/3. So this one's going to get a little trickier, so I'm going to walk you all the way through it. First, let's add up our fractions. So if I have 3 plus 3, so that brings over our denominator, and we do 6 plus 3 is 9 is our whole number, but 2 plus 2 is 4. So this is larger. So we need to add 1 more to our whole number, right? So if I have 2 cookies here, and they're divided into thirds, and I eat 3, so there's our whole cookie, and then 1 more is what's left. So we'll jump us up to 10, and then what is 4 minus 3 is 1 left. So our last one is 10 1/3. 10 1/3 is our last one. So go ahead and press submit and turn your homework in so we can give you a grade. Keep up the good work. You guys are doing excellent. If you have any questions, write a comment, shoot me an email, any way to get a hold of me. I'd love to work with you. Mrs. Jarvis is here waiting to work with you too. All right, we'll talk to you soon.